Hi, my name is Nisha Agrawal. I'm the CEO of Oxfam India. I'm just coming from a very interesting session which was about going beyond GDP growth and really looking at shining India and how to make India shine for everybody, about inclusiveness. It was a very, very interesting session, and I think what I'm finding is that the sessions that actually have all the tripartite stakeholders there, government, private sector and civil society, where you get the full diversity of views, are really turning out to be the most interesting ones. So I think that's important for the forum to try and continue to do that. But it also made me realize how many more of these conversations are needed for the future, because just the word inclusive has not been defined in terms of what we mean by inclusive development. Government has a different view, private sector has a different view, civil society has a different view. And I think, you know, by inclusive, I mean the two big models, do we really still think of it as a trickle-down phenomenon where we have to let the rich grow, take away a bit of money and then give a bit of handout to the poor? Or is it another model where we start bottom up and we say, where are the poor? How can we make their incomes grow? And that will give us a more inclusive development. So the question, the way it was put, was handouts to the poor or a hand up to pull them up, you know, as part of the growth process. And what was surprising is that even on this, we really don't seem to know as Indians, what is our vision? You know, are we trying to include fully the poor in the growth process? Are we going to continue to just go more and more into a welfare state and therefore really never, you know, let the poor become rich, which is what we would really ideally like to see. I think the role of the three different players is also important. I feel personally, from having attended a lot of the sessions, you know, there are too many mood swings. So when we were growing at 10% a year, the private sector seemed very happy with everything in India. And now that we are growing slowly, suddenly everything is bad. You know, so we've gone from being really gloriously happy with what was going on to a real doom and gloom scenario, and a lot of talk about corruption, which, yes, it's a problem, it needs to be fixed, but it's not the only problem. I think people need to think there are systems that are broken, they'll be fixed over time. In the meantime, can we do something and just get on with it? You know, are we just going to sit there now and point fingers? And also as civil society, I feel frankly it's a little unfair to blame the government for everything, including for poor delivery of services like health and education and infrastructure, because we are really not paying taxes. You know, we are collecting 9% of GDP as taxes. With that little bit of money, it's very hard to run a modern government. You need at least 20% of GDP. And the corporate sector is still, to be competitive, asking for all kinds of tax exemptions. So the amount that we collect, we give away almost as much to the corporate world. Now, wouldn't it be better if we collected that and then provided health, education and infrastructure? And that would be much longer and more sustainable way of becoming a more competitive economy, because we keep comparing ourselves to China, but China is not collecting 9% of GDP's taxes. The size of the government and the role of the government is much bigger and much stronger, you know, and that is what can deliver the kind of framework that is needed both for the private sector to grow as well as for poor people to grow. So absolutely fascinating session, and looking forward to the next one, which is also on the issue of growth and competitiveness and also very tripartite. Thank you.